anybody can take what we're going to do today, right? We're going to go over 7 totally different strategies, and even a couple of them have like sub strategies within that. So you're going to get 10 or 12 or 15 different ways today to attract a realtor. So that's really what our goal is we want to help you close out the year. You know, so many people are already talking about 2015. They're already talking about their goals and what are they going to do for 2015. And that's important, right? That's important to be focused on 2015. But at the same time, we want to close out 2014 really strong. We've still got November. We have the whole month of December. And for a lot of people, you know, that can be your strongest month if you are putting the work in, right? Other people, you know, for realtors, sometimes they want to take a break in the fall and in the winter, and we want to pull them out of that slump. So we want to show them ways to go out and get business right now. So there's just like this window of opportunity, I feel like, in November, December, to really go out and build some relationships, get some new people, you know, in your camp. And then especially as the spring and summer seasons ramp up, you're going to be in a great position to capture that business. So the first thing we're going to go into is called the Facebook Listing Booster. All right, I'm going to do a screen share so you guys can kind of see some of how to do this. But basically, it's just a 3-step process of sharing out a realtor's listing and then doing a specific follow-up process with that. Okay, so I'm going to show you exactly how we would how you can set this up. Just a second. All right, so if you're just on your normal Facebook, then if you come down towards the bottom down here, you have a thing called Friends. And if you click on this one right here, you can actually create a friends list, right? Now, the thing that's cool about creating friends lists is you can put a post out specific. It's easy for you to come over and see what specific people are doing, right? So, and it's only going to show you those people in your newsfeed as an example. So it's kind of a cool way that you can set up, you know, for you as a loan officer, the way to set it up would be to put your realtors in here that are on your hit list, right? So whatever realtors that you're currently targeting, that you're trying to get to work with you, you should put, you know, create a list, and that way you can see what they're doing, right? So for example, I could come over here and create a list, and I could say, you know, DFW realtors, and I could create that list. So right now there's nobody here, right? So I could come here and add friends. So let's say, for example, I could use this guy, Nick Good, who's a realtor over here in Dallas. Right, so now I've got, you know, just the one person. So let me see if I flip it over here, it should show me his, right? So see how it's only showing me his stuff because he's the only realtor on this list. So this is a kind of a cool thing, right? Nobody knows that you're adding them to this list. It's like a private thing. And so this is a way that you can be able to keep up with your realtors and then, you know, put this first thing into place. All right. So once you've set up your list, you're going to get notifications. When you see a realtor that you want to work with has shared a listing, you can share that listing out on Facebook, right? So let me try to find where I know Nick put one up here not too long ago. Okay, let me go over here to his post because I know he had one. I saw it earlier today. So here's an example, right? So Nick puts this right here that says the good team has some great homes coming up for sale. So if I'm trying to work with him, then what I would do is I would come right here on this, right here, and you could click share. And I could go and post that on my timeline, right? So if I'm going to do this, if I'm a loan officer and I'm going to put up a post that says, you know, that I'm basically sharing out Nick's house, right, as a way to get some credit with Nick, what I want to do is make sure that I tag the realtor in the post. So I want to write something like, you know, check out this awesome house. If you're interested, get with Nick Good for all the details. And when I do that, right, so I'm going to make my post, right? So then you're going to do this right here. If you're not familiar, right, you're going to use that @ sign so you can go and tag him. So you're going to say, you know, get with Nick Good for all the details, right? And then I just hit share, okay? That's going to put that on my timeline, and it's also going to send Nick a you know, it's going to send Nick a notification that I shared his listing, right? So that's a pretty cool deal, man, because it gets you a couple of times exposure to Nick. It's also, you know, it's just a way that you can actually give back, right? You can prove up front that you're interested in helping him grow his business. You're interested in helping him sell his listings, right? So that's one thing that, you know, so basically that's the first step of this Facebook listing booster, is to share out a listing, all right? After that, what you're going to do is, once you wait about 1 or 2 days, okay, let a couple of days pass, and then you want to go and send Nick a message, all right? You want to send him a private message, and basically what you want to say is, hey, I shared your listing. Did anyone reach out to you, right? I shared your listing. Did anyone reach out to you? And based on his answer, all right, because I'm, you know, maybe it's yes or maybe it's no. So you could ask him, well, hey, listen, if I can show you how to expose your listing and get that house in front of like 1,000 potential buyers for about $20, is that something you'd be interested in? So that's, I mean, you know, most people are going to say, well, yeah, hell yeah, you know, they're going to be really interested in that. So, because, you know, if you think about getting in front of 1,000 people right now, if they're doing a postcard or they're doing a mailer or whatever, you know, to get in front of 1,000 people, that might cost what, $500, $800, $1,000, you know? We're talking about showing them how to do that for $20. That's an incredible savings. So you just ask them that, hey, if I can show you how to do, you know, how to get in front of like 1,000 people, would that interest you? Yes? Okay, well, and then you just set up a time to go do that. And what you want to do is show them how to run a Facebook ad promoting their listing, right? Put a $20 budget on it, create a post, and then you know, run an ad to that post promoting the listing, and just show them how to do that. You know, you should you know, basically what I do is called I call it a best big, 3 small post. So you put a picture, 1 big picture, 3 small pictures, the way that Facebook sets it up on a post. Put a little bit of information about the property and a link to the rest of the details on their website. So pretty simple, you know. So you show them how to do that, how to run the ad for $20. And then after the ad runs, then you want to be able to go back and show them, like, look at the ad analytics and go over that and look at the stats and get excited about it. You know, get excited about the fact that 1,000 or 2,000 or 3,000 people just saw their house, and however many people interacted with the post, like this many people clicked around and actually looked through your photos, right? This many people, you know, actually clicked on your link, you know, because you're going to get all those details inside of the Facebook ad. So basically, you just want to follow up with them, right? And just tell them, like, look, wow, you got all this action, and it's just one little strategy that we went over. Imagine if we actually work together and I can teach you more things, right? The way you differentiate yourself from everybody else out there that's trying to get this guy's business. So that's basically strategy number 1. The Facebook listing booster is share their listing, follow up a few days later and show them how to run the Facebook ad, and then follow up after the Facebook ad runs and show them how to look at the stats. And then basically just tell them, like, look, this is just one little trick, you know? Let me come off this screen share for a second. You know, so basically you can be like, hey, look, this is just one idea, right? This is just one strategy that I have to help you get more business. So go with that one, right? That is a great strategy. Realtors, a lot of times, they're not really sure how to run Facebook ads. And so when you can teach them that, and you can teach them a couple little tricks like that to go out and expose their listing, you're getting them in front of a ton more people probably than they're getting themselves in front of, you know, and you're showing them how to do it, you know, kind of hands off, just a one-time setup using a Facebook ad. So that's strategy number 1. If you have any questions or comments on that one, you know, send out a tweet with #PowerSold, or you can go over to Facebook and you can leave a comment on my post. It's facebook.com/TheNickCarpenter, and that way I'll be able to answer any questions that you guys have. All right. Okay. So I'm just looking here at my screen. All right. So we're going to go into number 2. All right. Strategy number 2 is is doing a YouTube intro video, okay? So what I mean by that is using YouTube as a way to introduce yourself to the realtor. So this is really simple, okay? I don't know if it's gonna let me do it right now since I'm using my camera, but I'm gonna try it out. All right, so if I come over here and I go to YouTube, whenever you come right here, there's a few ways you can upload a video, right? You can obviously do it through your phone and you can do that kind of thing. It's also really easy to do it with your phone, but this is the simplest, especially if you're at your office. If you're at the office or you're using any computer that has a webcam, come right here and click upload. And right here, you can hit record on webcam capture. I don't know if it's gonna let me do it. Yeah, so see, you can just do this right here. You can just make a quick video to the realtor introducing yourself. And then once you're done, you hit stop recording. You hit upload. Now, right here is one of the tricks, okay? When you're uploading this video, you gotta make sure that you put it as unlisted. You do not want this video to be public. You don't want other people to see it. You don't want other realtors that come over here to watch their video finding videos for other realtors, you know what I mean? So this is something you want it to be kind of private. You don't market private, you just market unlisted so that only people with a link can watch the video. It's not publicly accessible, okay? So what are you gonna say on the message? All right, so basically what you wanna do is you just wanna introduce yourself like, hey, what's going on? I just wanna introduce myself and I'm Nick Carpenter. I'm a loan officer here in Arlington. And obviously I understand video, right? I understand current marketing, what works and what doesn't work to get business today, right? I'm active on Facebook. If we're not already connected, let's connect on Facebook, you know? But I'd love to show you some of these little things that I'm doing right now to build my business and how it can also be used for you to build your business, right? So I just wanted to send you this video as a way just to demonstrate that I understand video and that I understand these marketing tactics and how we can use them to build your business. All right, so let's hook up and I'd love to show you, a couple more ways that you can get a few deals over the next month or two. All right, so that's basically what you're gonna do is that's the kind of video that you're gonna record, right? Once you're done recording the video and it's uploaded, right? So let me here, hit save changes and see if we get the link yet. All right, so here's that video right here, okay? So what I could do now is I could take this link right here and I would share that link because you want them to watch the video, right? So now we got to share the link with them. So the way that I would recommend doing it is sending the link to them in a Facebook message, all right? The reason that I want to send it to them in a Facebook message is, number one, it's easy to see that they read the message, right? Facebook is going to tell you that they read the message. I'm sure you guys already see that. So that's number one, right? I love that fact that they're going to let you know they read it. It's also going to make it a little bit more personal to me if it comes through Facebook as opposed to coming through an email, right? An email is very business a lot of times. Facebook is personal and business, right? But it just feels more personal coming through Facebook. So that's why I like to do that. So now we're hitting them with a video that's already going to connect with them, right? And we're doing that through our personal Facebook to their personal Facebook, right? So this is like Nick connecting with Brian, not, Nick's mortgage business connecting with Brian's real estate business, if that makes sense. So that's why I like to do it that way through Facebook. It's also just really easy to keep communications in check, when you have everything going through Facebook message, if you can convince your people to talk that way, I like it better than email or any other form of communication today because it's easy to keep it in one line, right? Emails, sometimes you get like 10 or 20 or 30 different emails that all have important information and you have to like search your email and try to figure it all out. And it's just a pain in the butt. Where with Facebook message, it's all right there. So that's the other piece too, is that it keeps it, it's easier to keep communications in check that way. All right, so if the realtor reaches out to you like we want them to, then basically you're just going to deliver whatever you told them, right? Show them how to make some simple videos using their phone. Show them how to, how to answer common questions from their clients, right? Sit down and create a plan with them. Find 3 or 5 videos that they can shoot quickly, just using their cell phone, or just using this same method that you're using by uploading the video directly to YouTube, right? So what can you do to, help them jumpstart their video? Maybe help them get their YouTube channel set up. I'm assuming if you're doing this, you have a YouTube channel set up. If the realtor doesn't, or it looks like shit still, because they haven't really customized it and done it all, then help them, right? Help them get that stuff set up. So you can just prove, it's just a way to demonstrate that you know more than they know, right? You just have to know a little bit more. And so just help them get those things set up. Just do those little nuances. Sometimes it's the little techie stuff, that gets in the way of people. Does that make sense? Let me come off my screen share here for a second. I know that's been true for me sometimes in the past, right? And probably that's true for some of you guys, is that, the techie stuff sometimes gets in the way, right? So if you know how to set up a YouTube channel, or you know how to do the little things that you're suggesting to the realtor, maybe help them get those things set up, right? It would be worth your 15 minutes or 30 minutes of your time to really build that relationship deeper, right? Really give back, really demonstrate some knowledge and some expertise, and it will come back around to you. So don't try to rush through it or just necessarily force them to go do it on their own, but maybe you can offer to help a little bit. All right, let me check out my notes here. All right, so the third strategy is basically to become the teacher. Okay, so what we want to do, again, this has to just do with demonstrating expertise, right? And just positioning yourself above their knowledge level, right? There's going to be people, here's the cool thing. I love this. One time I was watching a webinar from a guy, Colin Terry, or I guess not a webinar, but like his weekly hangout. And he was talking about this idea of leading from the middle, right? That everybody feels like they have to be the expert, right? The number one guy. They have to be better than the 99% of other people before they can teach something. And that's just simply not true, right? If you're at a 50% level, or you're at a 60% level, you can teach people that are at a 20 or 30% level, right? That would make sense. Or obviously, if you're at 100%, you can teach everybody else, right? But there's always somebody that it needs your knowledge and needs your skill level, even because they're not there yet. So just think about that, right? What do you know that the next person doesn't know that you can lead from the middle and you can already teach? Okay, so this is one idea, and here's how you can get some information of what can you teach, right? That's probably the next question most people say is, well, okay, so I should teach something, but what should I teach? So number one, you can go and ask on Facebook, or ask your realtors that you're working with now, like, what do they want to learn, right? There's probably some Facebook groups, there's some LinkedIn groups that have realtors and people that you're working with in your market inside of them, and you could post that question in there, right? Is what topics are important to you right now? Or maybe, offer 3 or 4 options and see what people want to learn about. Okay, so that's how you can figure out what to teach. Now, if you're not sure where to get information from, I'm going to show you a couple of resources right now. In some cases, there are already classes out there that you could just go and teach, right? That are already done. So one site to get stuff from is slideshare.net. SlideShare is a place where a lot of people put their presentations and things like that, right? So you could come here. Let's say your realtors are saying, I want to learn about Twitter, right? Okay. Oops. Can't type. All right, so you could just come here and search Twitter marketing. Look at that. There's 221,035 results for Twitter marketing. Okay, we just need one, right? We just need one good class. So this would be one place that you could come and get it, right? You could simply scroll through here. Right, you can just see what's in here. You could pick out whichever one you like, and you could teach from that. Or you don't necessarily have to teach from what's in here in SlideShare, right? But maybe it's just something that you get inspired by, and you go and create your own version. So that could be another option, right? Is that you just get inspired by it. All right, so slideshare.net, that's a great resource. Here's another one, issuu.com. ISU, I think is how you say it. Okay, same thing. I can come here. Search for Twitter marketing. And again, here's all these classes that are already done, right? So here you go, right? A whole bunch of more classes that are already done. Some of these are more like magazine styles and stuff like that. SlideShare typically has more presentation, style, but both of these are great resources to come over and find content, right? Either find content that you can just teach directly, or find content that you can be inspired by to go within and create your own version, all right? So that's what you want to do, is basically find content, look at SlideShare and Issue, great places. You can also go and read articles. There's some good, like Inman.com, for example, right? They're always having great content over here. And so you can come over here and you can just see what people are interested in, right? Like a website like this is constantly producing content that people want to read. That's how they get people back here. So you can know that this is probably stuff that's interesting to realtors right now. So you could figure out how to, take any of this and maybe spin it into something that you can teach, right? I was just trying to see if there was any good examples right here. Oh, that's their class. But it's just like right here, like tech tools, right? All that kind of stuff. So there's always something that you can come over here and learn from. A lot of times it's just a matter of like, learning something, implementing it, and then teaching how you did that, right? Is basically our whole business is, my business model is that same exact thing, right? Learn, do, teach. And so we can do the same thing. So once you figure out what you're going to teach, how you going to actually teach the class, right? How are you going to get people there? Well, we can promote the class via Facebook event. That's a cool way to do it, right? So you can just go to Facebook. You can come right over here into events. Let's see. Right here. And right here, I can click on create an event. So here I can create an event promoting my class, right? I can then invite people if I want to invite my friends, the realtors. A word of caution here, don't invite your entire friends list. Okay, don't invite your entire friends list. Only invite realtors and people that would actually be interested in your class and that are in your local market, okay? There's a guy in Houston that invites me to every event, and there's obviously no way I'm going to Houston for an event, and I don't understand why he would do that. All right, so once you create the Facebook event, here's a cool idea. Partner up with another service provider that can also promote the event. So let's say, for example, if you're a loan officer, is there an insurance agent you could partner with? Is there a title company you could partner with? Is there a home warranty company you could partner with? An inspector, an appraiser, right? All these are people that also want to get in front of realtors. So use your network, whoever you're already using, and offer them to come in and partner with you. Be like, hey, look, I'll teach the class, you bring the cookies, right? Or whatever. And just both of you guys promote the class on Facebook, on through email marketing to your databases, right? Promote it that way. So that way you get kind of double coverage, and that's a great way that you can expand on who you can get to your class. You guys can combine your efforts. And just remember, you are the expert, right? If you're stepping up to a point and to a level that you're going to teach somebody something, I mean, you're some level of expert, right? Now, you might not be like the #1 king of the hill expert, right? But you're some level of expert, or you wouldn't be teaching it. So keep that in mind, right? A lot of times it just is a self-confidence thing to know that you're good enough to teach the class. All right. So what's going to happen after you're done teaching the class? All right. Well, after you're done, we want to do the follow-up process, right? #1, I like to friend everybody on Facebook. If somebody attended my class, I want to friend them up on Facebook and build that relationship that way if I'm not already Facebook friends with them. All right. I want to thank them for coming. Now, the way you can do this a couple different ways. You could just send them a Facebook message. You could, one that's like sometimes has a good impact is a handwritten note, right? So send a handwritten note card. A lot of people aren't doing that anymore. Send that through the mail. If you can, send that the same day as the class. That way, hopefully it gets picked up that evening, gets delivered the next day, right? Worst case, do the notes the next day, and the note gets delivered the second day after the class. After that, a note isn't a good idea anymore. It's not timely. So basically, when you send a follow-up, what you want to offer is a 30-minute strategy session, right? Like, hey, when can we hook up for 30 minutes? And let me show you a couple other ways that, we're generating business for realtors today, right? What's your schedule look like? If you're doing that on the phone, right, just schedule them right there. Otherwise, tell them to call you and let's make an appointment, or shoot you an email or whatever, right? Send me a Facebook message. But offer the strategy session and then just find out where they're weak, right? And provide solutions for that. If they don't know how to do a certain thing, help them learn that. Find somebody else within your network that knows how to do that really well and connect them, right? It doesn't always have to be you providing the solution directly, although that's better. But worst case, if somebody needs, let's say, for example, they're looking for a service provider, find a service provider that you already know within your network and connect them. So you're providing the solution by connecting them with the person that's going to do the work, right? But the follow-up is where the fortune is in the follow-up, right? I mean, you guys already know that. And so that's super important. Otherwise, sometimes your effort is for naught if you don't do the follow-up process correctly. All right, so that was number 3. Number 4, I'm going to try to go a little quicker here. Number 4 is to leave a LinkedIn recommendation. All right, so let me go over here to LinkedIn real quick. And I'll just pull up, well, I'll just stay right here. Okay, so on LinkedIn, there's 2 ways right now today that people get kind of like recommended, or you attach your endorsement to them, right? You guys are familiar, I'm sure, but I'm just going to show you real fast just in case. So when you come over here, like onto somebody's profile, number 1 is you see these things, top skills, right? These are called endorsements. When I come to LinkedIn, almost every single time, it keeps trying to send me to this veterans thing, which maybe it's just because I'm a vet, I don't know. But so over here, well, usually when I come up here at the top, it asks me if I want to endorse people, right? Let me go over to somebody's profile and just see if it shows. So let me go over here to Debbie's profile. Okay, so when somebody comes over here to Debbie's profile, every single time they're asked if they want to endorse Debbie, okay? Now, when you endorse somebody, that just shows up in their endorsements, right? It's not the same thing as so like right here in the top skills, these are endorsements. When somebody clicks that button up at the top, it shows up right here, okay? An endorsement is not the same thing as a recommendation, okay? Those things are different. So keep that in mind, that what I'm going to talk about right now is not an endorsement, it's actually a recommendation, okay? So one thing you can do is you can actually leave a LinkedIn recommendation for somebody, okay? Now, we don't want to just do this for everybody, okay? Otherwise, it's going to seem very, salesy or not genuine. I don't know the word disingenuous. I don't know, right? But not genuous is what it's going to feel. And so who is this for? Okay, now the person this is going to be for, the way this can work for a realtor is, number 1, is somebody that you've already worked with. Okay, this is somebody that you've done a deal with recently, or at least done a deal with in some capacity, or know in some way, right? This isn't like a random realtor that you've never done a deal with that you want to work with. Okay, this strategy is not for that person. This is really the best for somebody that you've recently closed a transaction with, and you're trying to get them to start sending you business. Let's say, for example, it's a listing agent, right? A listing agent that you've never worked with on the buy side, and you want them to start sending you buyers. All right, this is a perfect strategy for that type of person. It's also somebody, the realtor has to have a profile on LinkedIn. Now today, I would say that probably the vast majority of realtors are on LinkedIn, so that's usually not an issue, but obviously they do have to be there, right? Or this can't work. And also, it's really good for somebody that doesn't have any recommendations, or maybe all their recommendations are really old. Somebody hasn't got a recommendation in over a year, then this is a great strategy for that kind of person. So basically all you would do is you would go over to somebody's profile, all right? Let's say, for example, I come over here to Kent's. Let me go and find so right here, okay, when you come here, it says send a message, okay, or right here is that drop down, I get recommend. So I can click on that, and right here is where I have the opportunity to write a recommendation, okay? When you're writing your recommendation, what should you say? How should you word the recommendation? I like to use words, that have meaning, all right? So I like to use words like professional, expert, team, home selling system, right? Those kind of things, to where somebody that reads my recommendation later, they're going to know that this realtor really is the truth. I mean, they're the greatest. They're a great realtor. Now, don't lie. All right, don't lie when you're leaving a recommendation. Don't feel compelled to say you would hire this realtor to sell your personal property if you wouldn't do that. Okay, you don't have to go that far. You don't have to create, false stories for your recommendation to have meaning, right? One thing you can do is reference how the client said they felt working with that realtor, right? So you can tell that story of, hey, look, I just finished doing a deal with Kent. He was the listing agent on the deal. And I tell you what, everybody just raved about how great he was, about how responsive he was, how much how great his communication was. He was always on time for appointments, right? I mean, Kent is definitely a professional realtor, and his clients are lucky to work with him, right? That's not a lie. That's a great recommendation, because it's your just reference said they felt, right? So once you do this, okay, if I go through this process right here and I wrote this recommendation, you're going to choose what your relationship is. If you have a relationship, otherwise just, right, you can say, maybe you worked with Kent in different groups, right? Maybe I would go with that one probably. So once you do this and you hit send, it's actually going to send Kent an email, and it's going to say Nick Carpenter recommended you. And then he's going to have the chance to read that recommendation and then make it public on his profile. Okay, he can't change the recommendation. He can't rewrite it or edit the recommendation at all. He can only just read it and publish it. That's all his only two options are. Okay, so what I do is, after you leave the recommendation, then, like, again, about 1 or 2 days later, I send them a Facebook message if you're Facebook friends with them. Otherwise, if you're not, I would, around the same time you leave that LinkedIn recommendation, send them a Facebook message or a Facebook friend request, and just basically follow up with them like, hey, did you get my LinkedIn recommendation? And just start a conversation that way, and maybe just ask them, hey, listen, if I could show you a couple cool tricks online to get more exposure for your listings, would you be interested in that? Right? I mean, if he says no, then just be like, all right, cool. Well, hey, look, I'll stay in touch. Love to earn your business. So, and then just put him in a tickler system or whatever, and stay in front of him. Put him on your realtor list and just keep engaging him. Just keep going, right? If he says yes, then great. Then go and meet up with him and teach him the Facebook listing booster, right? Strategy number 1, go and teach him how to get his property seen by like 1,000 people for $20, right? Every realtor loves that strategy because they don't already know how to do that in most cases. All right. So let me come off screen share here. And I felt like I was talking there for a hot second. All right. So hopefully everybody's still good. Again, if you have questions, go over to Twitter and send a tweet, #PowerSold, or go to Facebook on my post, and you can leave a comment there. Let me just double check, make sure I'm good on all that right now. See if anybody has a question real quick. All right, cool. Looking good. All right, so strategy number 5. Okay, so strategy number 5 is doing a co-video shoot. All right, this is basically where you are going to offer the realtor to come over and meet with them and shoot a video together that can be sent out to their database. All right, so here's the way that I approach this particular strategy. What I do is I would send a message to a realtor and say, hey, listen, when's the last time you sent some cool email out to your database? And in most cases, it's going to have been a while, right? At least a month, if not more than that. So say, hey, what, if I could come over, would you be interested in making a quick market update with me that, on video? I'll take care of all the tech stuff. We'll just sit down and shoot this video real quick, and then you can send it out to your database as a way to let them know what's going on with the real estate and mortgage market here in Arlington, right? If they're cool with that and they want to do that, then you can just go over to their office, sit down in like a conference room or sit down at a desk so that you're just both on the camera together. All right, I just use my cell phone. All I did is I went to Amazon, I bought a cheap little cell phone bracket and then this little tripod that sits on the table, and it's, it holds your phone, so it's really easy to make videos. So I bought that for like 10 bucks on Amazon, and you can just set that right there on the desk, and then you guys just basically talk, right? Introduce each other and then give a short update, give a real estate update, give a mortgage update, and just try to keep it short, 60 to 90 seconds if that's possible. I know sometimes that's hard. It may have to go a little bit longer, but 60 to 90 seconds is about people's time, attention span today on video. And so try your best to get it in that period of time so people watch the whole video. All right. So once you basically just keep it short, you're going to upload the video to your YouTube channel. Okay. This is important, right? You shoot on your cell phone and you upload it to your YouTube channel. So all the traffic is coming to your channel. That's going to benefit you because you can control the YouTube channel, just the video description. So you can put a link to your website and stuff like that. And also YouTube can recommend your other videos in the sidebar where people can, subscribe to your channel. So there's a lot of side benefits to making sure that you run the video from your channel. Okay. So once you do that, let me just see, I just want to make sure I hit all my notes here. Upload to your channel, then how are you going to send it out? Okay. There's a few ways to do that. Number one, you can send it out through, an email blast, okay? Most realtors today have some sort of a CRM or email marketing system, and they can email that out to their database. Say, hey, what's going on, guys? Quick update from you for you here about the real estate mortgage market in a short 90-second video. Click here to watch, right? People can just watch that if they're interested. They can re-engage the realtor for more information. Otherwise, it's just a cool touch that exposes you as the mortgage expert into their database, right? Just the fact that the realtor is sitting there with you, any person on that video that's watching it that trusts the realtor automatically is going to have a higher level of trust for you based on their like pseudo recommendation of even being on a video with you, right? So you can send it out to the database. You can also do it as social posts. So it can be on a Facebook post, it can go into Facebook groups, or it could go on a LinkedIn group, LinkedIn posts, Twitter, right? You can do Instagram. There's a few ways to get it out there. And then you can also run it as a Facebook ad to their database, right? So this is one of the coolest little tricks, is tell the realtor, all right, hey, listen, I'm going to put this on Facebook, and if you just shoot me over your database, I can upload that database into Facebook and run the ad, run this market update to your database for like 10 bucks. So that's a cool way that you can get their database into your Facebook ads account, right? Not for like any evil intentions, but it's always great when you can help the realtor market to their database. So that's a way they don't have to do anything. All they have to do is just download their database out of their program, export it out, which they typically know how to do that, or you can help them. And then you can just take that database, upload it into as a Facebook audience, ads just to that little group of people. All right, so that's a pretty cool hack. All right, so that's the co-branded video. Number 6 is the partner spotlight. Okay, I'm gonna show you a couple ways that we can do this. All right, let me get off on the screen share real quick. All right, so over here, one way we can do this is as a, the idea of the partner spotlight is to basically provide some shine and some exposure to people that you want to work with, right? It's a way that you can give somebody a platform and allow them to, basically give them a platform and allow them to be seen as an expert, right? And so this is a cool idea. You can run, you can do this once a week. You can do it however often you wanted to do it. But there's a few ways that you could kind of spotlight a potential partner. All right. So number one, you could use it as a Google Hangout. That's what I'm using today to run this webinar, right? This little training here is running through a Google Hangout. It's super easy. You just come to YouTube, click on upload. And right here, you hit Google Hangout on air. And see, you just give it a name. You just simply share it if you want to share it with your audience. Now, here's a little trick that I do is I take that off and I go into an audience that doesn't have anybody, like acquaintances, right? And that's where I share it so that when I do it, it doesn't go out publicly to everybody on my Google Plus, which is not that many people, but still, right? I don't want it to go out to everybody. So you can come over here, you can start that. I can give it a name, hit share. And once I do that, it's going to create a Google Hangout, right? And I'm going to cancel because I'm nervous that it's going to kick me out of here. But, all right, so basically here's where you're at, right? You just simply hit start right here. And I'm not going to do it because I think it's going to kick me out of the one I'm in and bring me over here, so I'm passing on that. So you hit start, and it's going to give you a link that you can send out to your person you want to invite, and you guys can just have a video chat. Right? So the same way that I'm talking to you guys right now, right? I could have other people on this call. Like originally Kent was going to hop on here with us, and then you could just talk to your person, right? Ask them some questions. Tell me about how you got started in the real estate business. Tell me, like what's your unique selling proposition? Why should sellers hire you over any other realtor, right? What's unique about your marketing plan, right? Those kind of questions, whatever it is that you want to ask, make them look like an expert. And then, so that's one way you can do that, right? Would be on a Google Hangout. I love Google Hangout because it's video, right? It automatically goes to YouTube. You can have multiple people because we can have up to 10 people in one Hangout. So if you wanted to invite in a few different people, you could do that. Now for the partner spotlight, I don't recommend that, right? I recommend just one person at a time so that you're focused 100% on them. And the other piece about video is that you get 100% of the communication, right? You get the verbal and the nonverbal. It's not just the voice like you're getting right now, but when I'm looking at you on the video, you're getting all my little hand motions or, right, the little nuances of communication. So that's what I love about video and why Google Hangout is cool. The other way you can do that, another example would be something called Blog Talk Radio, right? You could have a little radio show. It's 30 minutes for free. And you could invite your realtors on and talk, and just talk to them about why they're the expert, right? Do a little interview the realtor, and it's going to automatically create a link here, and then the realtor can promote that link out and stuff. So do you have a platform that you can bring them on? If you don't, maybe you should create something, right? Create a blog talk, create a Google Hangout show, right? Do something like that so you have something to offer the realtors to give them more exposure. That's all a lot of people want, right? So you just bring them on as an expert. You just make it all about their story, right? How they get started, tell us about your business, right? What do you do for people? Just ask the questions that's going to make them look awesome, right? We want to make them look like a rock star, like a total expert. And then afterwards, we can promote that video or we can promote that audio interview, again, through Facebook message, through Facebook posts, right? We can email it out to the database again. That'd be another point of contact, for that month. We can also promote it on Facebook again to their database, right? So it's a great way that we can have their database in our Facebook account, or you can teach the realtor how to do it on their own if they don't want you to have their database. Because I can see on both sides, some realtors will be like, yeah, just do it for me. Some are going to be like, I'm going to do that. So either way, right? Either you can do it or you can teach them how to do it. So think about that. How can you spotlight partners, potential partners? How can you set them up as an expert, make them look bigger than life, right? By giving them a platform that they can come on and appear to be an expert. All right. All right, cool. So last one, and this is really a fun one, okay? Hopefully you guys have been on this website right now. Have you guys been on this website called Fiverr? Okay, Fiverr.com. All right, Fiverr is a great place that you can buy things for $5. Now, my word of caution is that Fiverr can be addicting because it's only $5, right? So, but I'm going to show you real quick, like 3 or 4 or 10 different things that you could consider to come over here and buy for realtors for $5 and basically, give them a gift, right? Now, my disclaimer here is I'm not an attorney. So if you have a question, make sure you contact your compliance or your attorney or whatever. So what are some of the things that we can buy on Fiverr? Well, some examples would be we can buy these whiteboard style videos, right? So you can come over here. We could search whiteboard video as an example, right? And here you see this kind of style of video, the hand drawing stuff. I'm sure you guys are familiar with that, right? So a lot of times with these people, all you have to do is just give them a script. So you just write up a simple script about how great the realtor is, right? Buyers and sellers in Arlington, Texas choose Nick Carpenter as their realtor because he is blank, blank, blank. Contact Nick at millandnick.com, right? That easy. You could have a short little video about how great your realtor is that they can use to promote themselves. Okay, you can do that for $5. Now, of course, sometimes, it's more than $5 if you buy extras, right? So, okay, so you can do the whiteboard video. You can also just do like simple animated videos, right? So if I type animated, you're going to notice them like this kind of style. Meet Ryan, whatever, create fun animated videos. All right, so there you can see some different versions there. Okay, so stuff again like that, right? It's a little bit different. It's basically the same thing you could do, a little intro video for the realtor or just a quick video about how great they are. And you could just give them that for $5. You could also get a testimonial and make that into a video, right? So if the realtor has a testimonial on Yelp or Realtor.com or Zillow or Trulia or a YouTube testimonial video or something, right? If you can find a testimonial that they have or ask them for one, and you could turn that into a video for them, that's a cool little thing you could do. You could also buy video, like intro video, right? So you have these little things here where the logo just flies around or whatever. Maybe. Oh yeah, that's fancy. So you get the idea, right? So basically, somebody could, you could buy something like this, take their logo or just their name or whatever, and you could give it to one of these people that just do these video intros, right? Same thing, you could get a video outro. So if you're a realtor and you're trying to help them make more videos and do more video marketing, you could just get these little intros and outros done for them. So that would be a little cool thing. You could also order a YouTube channel intro, right? So you could take one of those animated videos and you could make a video for them for their YouTube channel so that their channel has an intro video on their YouTube channel. Again, you could just do that for $5, right? And some of the other things are like fun stuff, right? There's some things, there's these puppet videos, right? You got like the chef, whatever. So you can have one of these puppets talk about how great the realtor is. Again, that'd just be like a fun thing, right? It'd just be like something to make them laugh, something I guarantee you that no loan officer has ever done before is buy them a little puppet video. There's also people here that will like hold a sign. So if you just search like hold a sign, like that, right? Okay, I'll hold a sign, whatever all these different things are. You get the idea. There's one that's really cool. I'll show you one that's awesome. Is let me see if I can find it. Yeah, this guy right here. I'll hold a sign underwater. Right, so that guy's pretty great. So you could definitely, consider that, right? I mean, that'd just be like a cool thing the realtor could use forever and ever to promote their business and use in marketing. And one of the other last things that's kind of neat on here is I found the other day is these custom glasses. Check this out. So you could order the realtor glasses that either say like realtor on the top or has their name, right? There's different styles. You can pick whatever it says on the top. They just make these totally custom. They create them on a 3D printer, right? And it's like $10. Yeah. So Yeah, $10 to get them printed and sent to you. So that's it, right? That's pretty awesome. So basically, for 15 bucks, you can have the Realtor some totally custom, totally cool sunglasses. So that's like the last little hack there, you know. So look, if you're looking for other ways you can hook up with realtors and make sure that you're like constantly taking your business up to that next level, I'd love to chat with you. Right? Since you joined us today, I'd love to offer a 30-minute strategy session. I think hopefully there's a link if the technology is working correctly below the video. If not, you can go to nickstrategy.com. Thanks so much for joining me. Love to friend you up. If you're not a friend with me on Facebook, go and look me up, facebook.com/NillaNick. And again, go to nickstrategy.com for that strategy session. And let's just hop on the phone, talk for 30 minutes. It'll take you to my calendar right there on that link. And let's just talk for a minute and see if what we're doing, if it aligns with what you're doing. That'd be excellent. If not, at least maybe we can help you with a few little marketing ideas, and you can walk away from the call with a couple strategies to go out and grow your business on your own. All right. Thanks for joining me today, and hope you have a good one. See you.